Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to today's Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, Walpole Media Corporation broadcast of your defending Division II state champion, Walpole High School softball team, as they host the Brookline High Warriors in a Bay State Conference interdivision game from the South Walpole Community Athletic Fields Complex. My name is Rick Brown, your voice of Walpole High Sports. I'll be handling the play-by-play action while Nick Piccirilli will be doing the filming. Walpole will be chasing its fourth consecutive win today and try to improve to 7-3. The Timberwolves are runners-up in the Herget division at 4-1, 6-3 overall. With a 1-1 home record, the Orange and Blue is outscoring their opponents 56-23. Seniors Charlotte Stasinski and junior shortstop Sienna Cruiser have worked their way back into the starting lineup after starting out the season with medical conditions that kept them both sidelined. Both players have returned, and they're a good reason that Walpole is riding this three-game winning streak. After starting the campaign by rolling past Braintree 11-0 and following that up with a 15-5 rout of Framingham, the T-Wolves ran into a few bumps in the road, losing in Lincoln-Sudbury Regional, Needham, and Dighton-Rehoboth Regional, around a 12-1 triumph over Weymouth. Since then, however, Stasinski's bound work has righted the ship with impressive victories over Franklin 4-0, Oliver Ames 2-1, and Wellesley 7-0. Brookline is in the basement of the Carey division at 0-4, 2-4. The Warriors' two victories have been blowouts against Brockton, 26-7 and 25-4. But in their other games, the Red and Blue has managed just 2 runs while being shut out 3 times. Brookline has fallen to Natick 12-2, Wellesley 11-0, Newton North 20-0, and Weymouth 26-0. Going back to 2016, Walpole has won 8 straight slaughter rule decisions, racking up 110 runs while allowing just 5. A 12-2 triumph in 2021 was the only time Brookline scored more than 1 run against Coach Rachel Sprague's team. Leading off for Brookline is their catcher, Cora Tracy. Charlotte Stasinski on the mound for Walpole today. She will start strike 1, the first pitch of the ball game. Strike 2 called. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for Charlotte to open this game. Swing and a miss by shortstop Lily Sampson. There's a ball down low, 1-1. Swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery on its way, popped foul behind the Brookline bench. Charlotte's 1-2 delivery on its way in the dirt, 2-2. Two pitch to Sampson. Ball 3, full count. The payoff delivery on its way. Strike 3 called. 2 down now. And it brings up the pitcher, Jordan Gifford. Strike 1 called. In the dirt, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery on its way, swung on and missed, strike 2. Stasinski's pitch, outside, 2-2. The 2-2 delivery, grounded to first. Clinton with it easily and drops it. Out, so goes E3 and then 3. All right, so it'll be E3, but then she's out 4-6. Defensively for Brookline, like we said, Jordan Gifford is pitching. Her catcher is Cora Tracy, first base. Sophia D'Onofrio at second base. Daria Yakut. The third baseman is Bridget Puccino, and Lily Simpson is the shortstop. Left to right in the outfield, they have Sarah Borsak, Alicia Nolan Cruz, and Vera Zaliopin. All right, the first pitch is outside to Riley.
No, I turned it on. If it's not working, it's dead.
That's a ball.
Come on, Pepper. Come on.
Ball 3. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 pitch on its way. Ball 4. Ball 1 up high. Duran waiting for the pitch. Going down a third and coming in safely. Riley gets all the way to a stolen base and then goes in on the overthrow. 2-0 the count to Duran. Up high, ball 3. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up by Gifford. Yeah, it brings up the left fielder, Carolyn Daly. Line drive off the glove, pitcher of his glove. Over to second, safe. That'll be an infield hit. And Riley scores, making it 1-0. Ball 1 to Todd. And she gets hit by a pitch. Loading the bases for the Timberwolves with nobody out here. Strike called to Clinton. Ball high. 1-1 the count. Strike two on, caught the outside part of the plate. Ball and 2 strikes to Clinton.
Good thing is we didn't really do any practices. That wasn't bad. Did I miss it?
Ground ball to second. Goes to first for the easy out, but another run comes across. Makes it 2-0 Walpole. There's a ball to Stasinski. Walpole up 2-0. Runners on second and third. Ball gets away. The run will come home. And Timberwolves go up 3-0. 2-0 the count to Stasinski. Ball 3 up high. Ball 4, and it gets away from the catcher. And the 4th run of the inning comes across. And it brings up the shortstop, Sienna Cruiser. Runner on first, 1 out. Walpole on top, 4-0. There's a ball in the dirt. Stasinski steals second. One and zero the count to Sienna. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Strike just caught the outside part of the plate. The ball and 2 strikes to the Timberwolf shortstop. Ball way high. 2-2. Full count. Gifford looks in for the payoff delivery, and it's a ball in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher. Stasinski will go down to third. And it brings up the right fielder, Sidney Bissonnet. Strike called. Cruiser steals second. 2 runners in scoring position. Still only 1 out for Walpole in the bottom of the first inning. Strike 2 called. There's a ball up high. The 1-2 delivery, way high, 2-2. Ball 3 up high. Full count to Bissonnet. Fouls it back behind the plate. Count remains 3-2. The payoff delivery on its way. Foul back again, out of play. Gifford's into the motion. Her payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Took a little bit of something off that and fooled Sydney. That brings up the number 9 hitter, Nora Broderick, the third baseman. 2 outs now, runners on second and third. Walpole holding a 4-0 advantage here in the first inning. Ball 1 up high. Ball gets away from the catcher. Stasinski will cross the plate. And Cruiser goes down to third. Looks like Cruiser also scored on that play. Fouled off at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Ball up high, 3-1. Ball 4. The 5th walk allowed by Gifford today. Abby Riley comes to the plate for her second trip in the first inning. There's a ball, gets away. Broderick will go down to second. There's a ball up high, 2-0. Grounded to third, over to first, and no, she dropped it. And the other run comes in. Broderick comes in. That'll be an E3. And Broderick comes across with the 7th run of the inning for Walpole, who has managed just 1 hit and made the most of all the walks. There's a ball to Duran, Carolyn. Strike called. Ball and a strike. Hitter. That's the second hit batsman of the inning, to go along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. And it brings up the left fielder, Carolyn Daly. Ball up high. Ground ball to shot. And she boots it. And Riley comes around to score for the second time in the inning. Brings up cleanup hitter Grace Todd. Little looper into short right field. That'll fall in. Todd going for second and holds up there. And 2 more runs scamper across the plate. So Walpole has a 10-0 lead here in the first inning with just 2 hits. As 2 hit batsmen, 5 walks, and 2 errors have just completely obliterated Brookline here in this first inning. Briella Clinton up. She swings and misses at the first pitch. The 0-1 delivery bounces in. Todd goes down to third. 2-0 the count to Clinton. Ball 3 outside.
Hey, get over here. Whoa. Come here.
Ball high. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Okay, and it brings up Stasinski. She lofts one into the foul territory, and it falls incomplete. Runners at the corners for Walpole. 10 runs in already on just 2 hits. Strike called. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third baseman Bridget Pusino coming to the plate. It's a strike. Strike 2.
Well, she wanted to go in at least 1 or 2 because the next, so she didn't want to go Monday without pitching.
Strike called. 3 straight, and Charlotte gets her 3rd strikeout, 2nd looking. And it brings up the second baseman, Dania Yakur. Takes strike 1. Strike 2. Strike 3 called. Fourth K, and it brings up center fielder Elena Norton Cruz. Strike. Stasinski's pitch, swung and a miss, strike three. 3 up, 3 down for Brookline. At the end of an inning and a half of play, the score is Walpole 10, Brookline nothing. All right, Cruiser coming to the plate here in the second. She drew a walk and scored a run her first time up. Swing and a miss, strike one. Bo. Hey, Bo. 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 There you go. Thank you. That's a ball. Thank you. Another ball up high and away. Foul down the first base line. That goes out of play. That's a ball. Full count now to the Walpole shortstop. Ground ball into right field, a base hit. Cruz makes the turn and holds up. And it brings up the right fielder, Sydney Bissonnet. Actually, we've got a pinch hitter. Line drive to shot, bobbles it, and she's on. That was Adriana Torres. She reaches on an error. And Cruiser heads up running, gets all the way to third. Nora Broderick up. Torres goes down to second. Fly ball to center. Comes in for the out. Sienna tags up and comes in. And it comes back to the top of the order. Abby Riley reached in an error and walked. Scored twice in the first inning. Fouls it straight back. Ground ball back to the mound. Over to first, 2 down. Torres goes down to third. And it brings up the center fielder, Carolyn Duran. Carolyn has walked and been hit by a pitch. Takes a strike. Strike 2. Fouls back off to the right. Outside, 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Ball 3. Full count. I'm sorry, yeah, full count to Duran. Ball 4. And it brings up the right fielder, Carolyn Daly. Carolyn has reached an error and singled. Ball. Runners at the corners for Walpole here in the second with an 11-0 lead. Ball. Duran goes down to second on the pass ball.
Hey, lay down. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. Roll over. Roll over.
There's a ball in the dirt. 3-0.
Don't have him sit. Hey. Sit. Down. Sit.
Ball 4.
Down. Roll over. There you go. Good boy.
Yeah, it brings the second baseman, Grace Todd, to the plate. Base hit into left field. 1 run in, and they're going to stop there. First pitch single to right field. 12-0 Walpole on top. Bases still loaded. Strike called to Clinton. There's a ball down low, 1-1. One pitch. Strike called. The 1-2 delivery to Clinton on its way. Up high. Evens the count at 22. The 2-2 delivery. Up high, full count. No place to put Briella. Bases are loaded. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Walpole leading 12-zip. Ball 4. $13-0 as Duran comes in with the 13th run. Stepping up to the plate is Baker. Caitlin Baker going to bat here. Ground ball to first, and she steps on it for the 3rd out of the inning. But Walpole came up with 3 more runs on 2 hits. Her first pitch, foul down the first baseline, strike 1. Fouled off at the plate, 0-2. Ball up high, 1-2. Sophia thought about going for that, but held up, and it was a ball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Baker records her first strikeout. And it brings up the designated player, Fiona Miller. Baker's windup and the pitch. It's a ball down low. The 1-0 delivery. Down to third. Broderick up with it over to first. She got her. 2 down. And it brings up the left fielder, Sarah Borshak. There's a ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Baker comes on and gets 2 strikeouts. 3 up, 3 down for Brookline. We played 2.5 innings, and Walpole leads 13 to nothing. As Cruiser steps into the batter's box. The pitch popped up to the infield. First baseman goes over, and it's drops in unattended. Gifford's 0-1 delivery to Cruiser. Up high, a ball. 1-1. Strike called. 1-2 the count. Cruiser has singled to right and walked. Ball down low. 2-2. Pops it up down the first baseline and out of play. Count remains 2-2. Ball 3. Full count now to the Timberwolf shortstop. Way high, ball 4. And it brings up, Adriana Torres. She reached on an error her first time up. Takes a ball. That's another one. Brianna is one of two freshmen on the team. She fouls it off. She and Layla Casey, the two ninth graders who made the varsity this year. Pops it up to right field. This may drop in. It does. Base hit. Runners on first and second for Walpole as they start the third inning here. Brings up third baseman Nora Broderick. Nora has a sacrifice fly and walked and scored a run back in the first inning. Line drive into left field, a base hit. Cruiser coming home, and Torres stays at third. Broderick goes down to second with the double. (14-0). Brings up the top of the order, Abby Riley. Takes a ball up high. Runners on second and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning for Walpole. Ball up high. Pops it foul behind home. Swung on and missed. Third strikeout of the game for Gifford. Brings up center fielder Carolyn Duran. Carolyn has walked twice and was hit by a pitch. She scored 3 times. Takes a ball. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Foul down the first baseline. 0-2 on Duran. Ball outside, 1-2. Inside a ball. Ball 4, that loads the bases again for the Timberwolves. The 11th walk given up by Gifford. And it brings up Carolyn Daly. Carolyn has singled, reached on an error, and been walked. Swing and a miss. And this is not Carolyn Daly. It's a ball. Strike. Strike 3 called. Line drive, base into center field. That was by wasn't Todd. So we've got Bases loaded. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
His girlfriend that is like an arch criminal that screwed her. He's the only person that ever beat her. Was her. He sees her.
Ellie Boland comes to the plate for Walpole. She takes a ball.
It's like, all right, you win. You just got to forfeit. Right now he went to turn around and go back in his head. And then he's like, and then a couple of the scenes where in his mind he plays out.
That's a ball.
And then it goes to what he's going to exactly do. He's like, block foul left, break jaw with right hand.
Strike called.
Prognosis, 6 weeks recovery.
2 balls and a strike.
6 months. And then he grabs a handkerchief and wipes his spit and then throws it in his face and he does everything he's going to do.
Ball 3.
Oh, yeah. And so he's trying to figure out a problem or whatever.
Ball 4. And Torres comes in to score. Second run of the inning. 15th of the game for Walpole. It's a ball. On Baker, Caitlin came in to pitch on the third. She takes ball 2. She grounded out her first time up. Swing and a miss. Foul back. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. Pops it up. First baseman there and puts it away for the out. In 2 innings, Charlotte Stasinski struck out 2, walked none. In her first inning so far, Carolyn Baker struck out 2. First pitch is a ball. Swung on and missed. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 1-2. Up high, 22. Pops it up to the infield. Clinton calling for it. And Briella puts it away for the out. Brings up the shortstop, Lily Sampson. She struck out looking her first time up. Strike called. Strike 2. Baker showing a few funny things out there. Has got Brookline thinking of fly ball. That will, nice play in right field. Adriana Torres out there slapping the rubber, or the leather. 2 down, and it brings up the pitcher, Jordan Gerard. She reached on an error, but then was thrown out trying to stretch it into a 2-base error. She fouls it off down the first baseline. 1-1 pitch from Baker. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Gets his face blown off. When it first came out, the first couple times I saw it, I didn't like it. Now I think it's like King shot.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Oh, it off the wrong.
3 up, 3 down in the 4th for Brookline. One for one officially. Walked twice. Scored 3 runs.
And it was funny too because the Kelsey Grammer,
Tries a bunt, fouls it off. Strike 1.
I hate that.
Shows bunt, takes a ball. 1-1 the count to Sienna. Drops a beauty down. Fielded and thrown away for the out. 1-3 if you're keeping score. 1 down. Brings up the right fielder, Adriana Torres, who made a nice play last inning, racing in to pick off the fly ball by Lily Sampson before it dropped in for a hit. She takes a ball.
Always lives next to Mr. Frosty, how that was awesome.
Ball 2 up high. Pops it up to the infield. Gifford calling for it and drops it. So Walpole gets a runner, and Nora Broderick steps to the plate. Nora has walked, hit a sacrifice fly, and doubled. Line drive, base hit into left field. Nora picking up her second hit of the game. Brings up the top of the order, Abby Riley. Oh, wait a minute now. Ground ball into left field, a base hit by Riley. Bases are loaded. One down, base is full. Brings up center fielder Carolyn Duran. Carolyn has walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch. 0 for 0 officially, with 3 runs scored. Takes a ball inside, 2-0. Ball 3, high and away. The 3-0 pitch is 3-1. Fouls it back, full count.
The old glad ladies. They work so great together.
Griffith's payoff delivery on its way. Strike 3 call. Just caught that outside corner. The 4th K for Griffith. It's a ball outside.
What's his name that comes back from town? He was doing the check. He's like, why? Go back a little bit, check.
Up high, 2-1. Strike, 2-2. Full count. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
She had one because it was strike 3. And I guess when, huh?
All right.
Yeah, usually like a space.
Last opportunity here for Brookline. They need to get 5 runs or more, 6 runs, in order to continue the game here, trailing 15-0. Cruiser is now in left field. Torres is at shortstop. Oh, Coach Sprague moving a lot of players around here. Baker's pitch is a strike called. Caton looking quite confident out there. Ground ball to shot. Over to first. Safe. That will be an error. Swing and a miss by Yanot. Little pop up to second, put away by Clinton. Todd. 1 down. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Fouled back. 0-2 the count to Norton Cruz. She checks her swing for a ball. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The 4th strikeout by Baker. And it comes down to the last shot. Sophia D'Onofrio, the first baseman. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 the count to the Warrior first baseman. Baker looking in for the sign. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will do it. Let's see.
Not even a roll behind the record. I was just more just having just some around. If I go to
So Walpole has an easy one here today to win their fourth straight and go to 7-3. For Walpole, they have 15 runs on 9 hits. They played, committed 1 error and left 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 on base. Charlotte Stasinski went the first 2 innings for Walpole. She had 5 strikeouts, no walks. Caitlin Baker came in for the last 3. She had 5 strikeouts, no walks. I'm looking at this as a no-hitter for the Timberwolves. I had 2 errors, but both of them to me were clear errors. So Baker and Stasinski combined for the no-no. For Brookline, they had like I said, no runs, no hits. 3 errors, 4 errors, and they left nobody on. They left 1 on base. 2. They left 2 on base. Let's see. For Baker, she threw 34 pitches, 27 for strikes. Stasinski had 24 pitches, 18 for strikes. Other than that, Walpole just had their way. They scored 10 runs in the first inning, basically put it away. Then 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and none. They left the bases loaded in the fourth. So that, like I said, improves Walpole to 7-3 with 4th straight victory. And we would like to thank you for watching this Walpole Media Corporation broadcast of girls varsity softball action. Once again, your final score: Walpole 15 and Brookline nothing.